I'm Gavin. This is Wilson. He's a 2016 Ram Promaster on the 158 wheelbase. I have been living full-time in Wilson for about 2 years since I built it out. It's a self-built full campervan build, water, power, solar. Today I'm going to give you a little tour. I'm going to show you a couple unique features about my build, and that's it. Let's go. So Wilson is a 2016 Ram Promaster 2500. It was built with two things in mind. One is to be stealthy from the exterior. I do a lot of urban environment camping, and I really wanted to be able to fit in and kind of hide. And I really wanted the interior to be spacious, roomy, but minimal. And I think I did accomplish that with this build. We'll start with the bed. The bed is a full size. There's no cutting on this, so it fits a full person. That's like me. I'm 6'1", fits me just fine. Very comfortable for two. And above the bed, I've got this sort of net storage on either side where you can fit blankets or clothes or anything else you want to stuff up there. The kitchen has a full large countertop with a full sink. I built in to the wall behind the sink this little cubby. It's got this flip-up cabinet extension, and below the countertop it's got a hanging shelf and then plenty of storage inside of these doors here that magnetically latch. Also got these drawers for silverware and other utensils and anything you might want to put in there. This cubby area here can actually fit several wine bottles and then dish soap and whatever else you might need. The sink is covered with a cutting board, so you got multi-purpose there, and it's a full power sink. Below the sink, I've got a really simple water system. This is a 6-gallon gray water that goes directly from the sink, and then the one behind it is a 6-gallon drinking water. Now, I've got another water tank in the back, but this 6-gallon I'll fill with filtered water, drinking water that I have attached to a 12-volt pump, so I can easily fill up drinking water separate from my primary 20-gallon water tank, which I'll show you in a bit. Above the sink, I've got this magnetically shutting cabinet. This is where I keep dishes, and if I have food overflow, I'll throw some extra food up there. So when I'm cooking, I built the cabinet to have this storage underneath where I can pull out a 2-burner camp stove. And this is what I use for most of my cooking. It's a pretty simple, basic camp stove, and it fits perfectly underneath, so I can just pull it out. And then I have an awesome cooking setup with plenty of counter space and 2 burners, and still some space to do some chopping and put some other utensils out on the countertop. Again, putting it away, I just slide that stovetop underneath the counter and its little home down there, and put my dishes away, unlatch that counter extender that I built in there, and then I keep all my dishes underneath in that cabinet there. On the other side, I've got my closet that I built in here. On the top, there's some storage for towels and things, and on the inside is where I keep all my clothes in these little bins that fit really nicely in there, toiletries, socks, other stuff like that. It's basically my wardrobe. It's got a couple shelves in there. The drawer here latches and it slides out. This is where I keep the majority of my food. And then below that, I have this little bungee cord system to just lock in my refrigerator. But this is a 42-quart DC fridge, and it kind of doubles as a seating area. So I use it to sit pretty comfortably here, and allows me to fit 3 or 4 people inside the van to have a conversation before we even need to throw somebody up on the bed. Now, my favorite feature of this build is this desk that converts into a couch. It only takes about 10 or 15 seconds. You just lift these legs up here, pull the entire top off of the latches that are built into the wall, spread the cushions, and then you can make a little adjustment to the seat here if you want, slide it into position, and it creates a really comfortable, cozy love seat here, or a little sofa. So you mix this with the seat up front that spins around, and you've really got, 3 or 4 comfortable places for people to sit inside the van. Getting this desk, this couch back into desk mode is just as easy. You just lift it up, latch it into the slots on the wall, drop the legs down, and then you've got a awesome, really large surface area desk. And for the 2 years I've been living in this van, I've been doing a lot of remote work. So I spend a lot of time on the computer, and it's really a blessing to have so much space, so much workspace. And in a lot of van builds, you just get these tiny little countertops to work at, but I have really a full desk as big as I would have in any office, complete with a nice little shelf up above to store some extras. So this has really been a great bonus for working on the road. So let's talk about power. I've got USB 12 volt power and a full 110 outlet over there for desk stuff. Got another one near the kitchen for appliances. And then I've got a 12 volt USB power source there by the bed. One other place I have power is in this cabinet to the left underneath the desk. I keep cameras and stuff in there. I have 3 different light sources. So I've got this main light, I've got this secondary light that does lights for the desk and the kitchen in one. And then there's the main lights that run across the top on a separate, they're all on dimmers. And then I've got this third light source. I just strung some nice ambient string lights through for some nice vibe. I custom cut this shower curtain, which kind of became a privacy curtain. And when I shut everything up inside the van with this curtain down, it is completely invisible to the outside world. So on the outside, the stealth build looks like a work van, but on the inside, you are comfortable in this really great, well-lit, bright and spacious interior. To fold this privacy curtain back up, I just roll it and then kind of stash it neatly up on top. This Promaster has this nice big storage space up above the seats in the front, and I keep all kinds of stuff in here: backpacks, shoes, DJ controllers, yoga mats. There's quite a bit of space up there, and that's been really nice to have. I also installed directly into the frame of the van some rock climbing jugs, and you can actually switch these out depending on how good of a climber and how strong you are. But I thought that was a unique feature, and I've really enjoyed having that for climbing around and getting a little exercise. There's 2 vent fans installed in the ceiling in this custom wood grain ceiling. You can kind of get air flowing both in and out for some really great circulation. Now, on the exterior of the van, like I said, it's very simple, very clean, very stealthy, but it does fit a lot of stuff underneath the bed in the back. So I call this the garage, and there is a light in there. I wanted to show you just how much stuff will actually fit back here. So I did this little time lapse to demonstrate how much stuff I fit back into this garage, and that was a really important thing for me, not knowing exactly what I was going to need to be hauling around at any time when I was building it. So I built it just to have a lot of wide open space, and you can see I fit 4 big bins in here. I fit a big soundbox speaker, some luggage, some duffel bags, and a mountain bike, all in here without too much of a hassle. On the passenger side, above the wheel well, is my water tank and water system. It's a 20-gallon water system, and the fill up is on the inside of the van. So again, there's nothing on the outside really showing that this is a camper van. Now these wheel well boxes actually open up. This is where I have my water pump, and it's easy to just put back in, and it keeps a nice clean look back here. I also have an outdoor shower, so if I just pull the shower head out from its little storage spot there, I can hook it up, flip this little T-valve here, and then I have a full powered shower. On the other side, on the driver's side, is my entire power system. I have a 200 amp hour lithium ion battery. So you can see here, I've got my fuse box back there, my 2000 watt Renogy inverter. Again, the wheel well box opens up, and this is where I have some of my power bus blocks in there, and you just close this back up. And then here I have all of my, this is a charger. I've got switches for solar and alternator charging. I've got my Renogy charge controller, and then I also have a switch for turning off power to everything. This is another cool feature of the build. This divider just slides up and out of its spot there, which allows full front to back access. I have put some very large objects in there, and this has really come in handy as far as hauling stuff around, to just be able to open up that separation between the front and the back of the van. And I also keep this little rug here that makes for a nice little patio anytime I'm somewhere where I want to have a nice welcome entrance to Wilson. So that about wraps it up. As you can see on the outside, there's not a lot going on. There's no ladders, there's no windows, there's not a lot giving away that it's a camper van, other than the solar and the vents on the roof, which are actually quite hard to see. But it's a really spacious build. It's got everything that you could really need for extended trips in very comfortable, spacious environment. And thanks for watching.